Hello, for the 7.5 million student loan borrowers that are currently in default. I have some really important news and information for you. I am here to share with you what it is that you need to know, what actions you need to take to make sure that you remove yourself from default, stay out of default, get on the right payment plan, and get closer to forgiveness. So, for any of you all, if you know someone that is in default of their student loans, you please share this information with them. Tag them in this video if you need to. Text them, email them, because this is really important information. Now, I was on last week and I shared with you four student loan forgiveness programs that you need to be aware of. So for all the student loan borrowers, if you haven't already had your loans forgiven or canceled or discharged, you definitely want to go back and check out that video. I tell you, four student loan forgiveness programs right now. These are existing that would allow you to get student loan forgiveness or get closer to that, because there's special, not only special programs, there's been improvements and special credits that are available that are going to push you to that forgiveness. It could push you there this next month. It could push you there by the end of the year or into 2024 when they extend some of the additional improvements. So again, if you want to know where the videos are to check them out, go to our YouTube channel or Facebook and click on that video button. And all of our latest videos are typically in the featured section of our video catalog. Welcome to She Boss Talk. I am Shantae Arati. Welcome. If you are new here, make sure that you let us know who you are, where you're hailing from, and what your business is. So we know so many of us that are entrepreneurs and small business owners, or whether you're not, you just came across this video. There's millions of us with student loans, like 43 million student loan borrowers that are trying to figure out how to navigate their student loan debt now that the moratorium, the 3-year moratorium, has been lifted. So that is why I'm coming on with these different series, because you need to be aware of all of the different changes. And these are major changes, major overhauls to all of these different programs, new programs that have been introduced, so that you know what actions to take on behalf of your student loan. Now, if you don't already know, interest has already started accumulating. If your email is updated with the Department of Ed and your servicers, which I highly recommend that you get it updated, then you would have received a notification probably by now or within the next a week or so, that of your statement to say that your bill is come due. Okay, so all student loan borrowers should be expecting this bill to come due for October 1st payment, and that email will tell you what it is that's due. Now, if that payment is too high for your budget, right? So you're coming out of 3 years not having to pay, then you need to make sure you are on the right payment plan for you. And in the last video, I already recommended that you get yourself on the SAVE plan. That is going to be very important. But as you're getting on these plans, you can calculate how much your payment is going to be. So I said in the last video, mine is set to 0. So I already know come October what my student loan payment is. And it is 0. And that is it, whether 0, $1, $100, $900. As long as I'm on the program, the income driven program, it goes towards my forgiveness. Okay. So with that said, in order for you, if you are in student loan default, in order for you to get into some of these programs, you need to come out of default. So that's what I'm talking about, the Fresh Start program that is available for student loan borrowers who are in default. Now, I'm going to be going through some of the benefits for those, some of the things that are being rolled out even into 2024. So let's start with some important information here. Now, We're almost to October. What do you need to know about the Fresh Start program? So, this again is for those that have defaulted, meaning that you are in a negative status with regards to your student loan, which is having not only a negative impact on your credit report, but it's keeping you from being able to take advantage of opportunities like buying a home or getting on one of these programs that is going to get your loan forgiven. So why stay in default and when you can get out and then you can also be able to get your loan forgiven. Now, what are some of the basic benefits of this Fresh Start program for those that are defaulted on your student loans? Now, the first one is your student loan is going to return to current status on your borrower's credit report. This is something that you should be looking for, okay? That is critical. That is so important. It's going to return to current status from your current negative status. It's going to remove the negative default mark. Okay, so there's a marking that goes on your credit report anytime that you are in default. That is going to be removed. Now, you're going to also be able to have access to federal student aid and other government loans like mortgages once this is lifted. Because for a lot of people, their student loan debt is the only issue. Their default is their only credit issue. So if you have this lifted, then you're going to be able to access these other programs. You're going to be able to access flexible payment plans like the one I just mentioned, the SAVE program, like that program and other income-driven programs. You're going to be able to access flexible repayment plans, access short-term relief like deferment and forbearance, which I don't recommend. But if you need to, but you shouldn't right now, you should just be able to apply for the SAVE program and see how low your payments can be. But if it's at a place, where you need to defer it temporarily, you can do that. But I would not say to stay in deferment because that's not, if you're not in one of these programs, it's not getting you any closer to forgiveness, okay? And it does not stop interest from accumulating. The next thing is the suspension of collection efforts. So even after the student loan pause ends, so if you're in this program, the Fresh Start program, all collection efforts will stop. I mean, how many of us have been in situations where we were in collections and constantly getting emails and phone calls and letters in the mail telling us that we owe this debt that we need to pay up, okay? That is very stressful on a person. I've been there. So all of those things are going to be suspended. You won't have to worry about that. Another thing that you can gain from this is that many of you all that are in default are actually having your wages garnished. And you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I get out of garnishment? So not only is it going to hit, you're still in default, but now you have to worry about that garnishment of your wages, taking money from your earned income. Okay. So that's one of the biggest reasons why you want to get into the Fresh Start program, is so that you no longer have to worry about your payments, your paychecks being garnished, or if they weren't garnished and they were going to be garnished, you don't have to worry about that any longer. Okay. So that's really important. At least 3 years of credit towards your income driven plan. Again, go check out last week's video towards forgiveness or for time spent in default during the pandemic freeze under the one-time income driven payment account adjustment. This account adjustment is huge. It's very significant. And you only have one time. It says one time that you can get it. And you need to get it, be able to have your loan in a set up where you can access this credit before the end of the year. December 31st is the deadline date. Just ask anybody that's on public service worker that got the waivers last year, or those that could have gotten them that missed out on those waivers. Those that took advantage of them, most of those people have already gotten their student loans forgiven already, where they may have had to wait like 5 years, 5 or 6 or more years to get forgiveness. But because they got the one-time credit, they were able to get those student loans forgiven. So that's where we want to be. So this is going to allow you to do that. They're saying, look, even though your student loan was in default, they're going to give you access to these credits and allow you to go ahead and get your loans forgiven. Y'all better be running to the website studenta.gov. It's in the description. It's in the description, which are the show notes. Click on the link. Go and enroll in this program if you are in default of your student loans. Do not wait and to do this, because I know so many people procrastinating, delaying, or they just, checked out of their student loans and think, okay, well, they're just going to stay in default forever. We have to be proactive. And if with all of these significant changes, if you don't take action, man, I don't know what to tell you. I'm here to educate you, inform you on what is happening and why stay in default if you don't have to. And you could really, depending on how long you've been paying on your student loan, how long your student loan has existed, could in the next month or next year have it wiped out. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. So some of these benefits, such as access to student aid, are available automatically, but you will have to enroll in the Fresh Start and agree to enter a repayment plan for others. So you must enroll, it says, by September 2024. So to get the full benefits under this program. So for the full benefits under this program, you have a year. I would not wait, because I already told you the credits you only have to the end of the year. Don't wait. Do it now. Do it now before October 1st hits. Okay. But you do have 1 year in order to enroll in this program. Again, this is also like a one-time program. They're giving you a year to enroll. Okay. So who qualifies for this Fresh Start program? Again, 7.5 million of student loan borrowers qualify for this that are in default, according to federal data. That their loans are held by the Department of Education and defaulted on their FFELP loans. Now, it is available only to borrowers with federal loans. Federal loans. This is not personal loans, okay? Federal loans, including direct loans, government held, Perkins loans, government held FFELP loans, and privately held FFELP loans. Borrowers must have also defaulted on loans before the forbearance began for COVID, which was March 13th of 2020. So this is for loans if your loan defaulted before March 13th of 2020, not after. Okay. So the following loans are not eligible: private loans, school help Perkins loans, health education assistant loan program loans under the purview of the United States Department of Justice, which are likely those that are under the defense claims, direct loans are commercially held FFELP loans that defaulted after the end of both the student loan payment pause and the pause collections. Okay. So if you just now would be going into default, that wouldn't count. Okay. So then that brings me to the on-ramp period that they're giving us, 12 months. So even if you are paying your loans, you fall behind and you're trying to catch up and you can't meet the payment, then you will not default. If you're not already in default, you would not default for at least 12 months. They will not put you in default. You want to try to get into the right program for you so that you don't have to worry about going into default on your student loans. Okay. So I just talked about who qualifies for the Fresh Start program. So there may be people who have some loans that are eligible for some and some that aren't. So it's so important, if you have not thought about or looked at or contacted your servicer, to contact your servicer. So if your loan is in default, your loan should be with Maximus, the servicer, because different servicers handle different things. So then your loan, once you're in the Fresh Start program, you will see that your loan will be removed from the default servicer to a servicer based on the program that you go into. So once your loan is out of the default status, you enroll into one of the income-driven plans, then it will go to one of the income-driven plan provide servicers. Say, for instance, you qualify for the public service worker, your loan then may go with, I believe it's MOLA, which is the public service servicer. Okay, so you want to make sure that your loan is with the correct servicer to handle your loan. You want to make sure that you're in contact with them, and that your files are up to date. And so one of the things that they mention is that for a lot of student loan borrowers that's in default, your current emails are not on file. So maybe you just said, okay, I'm in default, I don't want people contacting me. But again, you need to make sure that your email is updated, because you want to make sure when you're enrolling in these plans that you monitor and track it. And again, when you're in these repayment plans and you're in the forgiveness plans, you want to know when your loan is up for forgiveness or discharge, depending on whatever program that you're in. You want to monitor that. Like, I monitor my emails on a daily basis. For these programs, because I am waiting for the next rollout of forgiveness. Yours could be in the next rollout, which is October. So that's in a couple weeks. It's in October is the next rollout for forgiveness under the income-driven repayment plans for those that have reached 20 and 25 years of payments, depending on which program that you're in. Okay. That means if you took out your loan and it's going back, the credits, adjustments to loans that were taken out all the way back to 1994. Okay, 1994. I graduated in 1998. I took out my loan in 1994. Right? So I'm in the list to have my student loans forgiven. So again, if you are in default, you want to get lifted out of that and get into these programs so that you could get closer to forgiveness. Now, let me just say some benefits are available now, but borrowers need to opt into the Fresh Start program. So some are automatic, but you will need to enroll. Go enroll now. Go enroll today. And again, the link is there to sign up. It's saying though borrowers will have 1 year to enroll in Fresh Start, once forbearance ends, they should apply quickly after the system opens, which is advised by one of the directors of the College of Affordability at the Institute of College Access. Now, the government says that it will reach out to eligible borrowers, inform them of the program, but don't count on it. Why? Because of what I just told you. Roughly 25% of borrowers that are in default don't even have an email address on record. Get your email addresses on record so that you can they can send this information to you. So to get started, you want to one of the things you want to do is check what type of loan you have. Okay. So once you get out of default, if you find that your loan is not held with the Department of Education, you need to consolidate, and then get into one of the income-driven plans. Okay. And then I believe they're going to ask for you to make a payment, but you won't even know what that is until you make sure you're in one of the plans, because once you're in the Fresh Start program, that is not definite. It's 1 year. So you don't want to risk going back into default. Okay. The Department of Education holds most defaulted loans. If that includes your loan, there are 3 ways that you can submit a Fresh Start request. You can go online, you can do it by phone, or you can do it by mail. Okay. So go to studentaid.gov. I put it in the show notes for you. Let's see. Let me break some of these benefits down so that you understand how it's working. Okay. So one of the aspects of the Fresh Start program requires no enrollment. So schools are being advised to allow borrowers in default to access student aid, which includes loans, work studies, and Pell Grants. Borrowers in default are less likely to have a college degree, but defaulting on loans means that losing eligibility in federal aid if you're trying to pursue that, which can be crucial to completing your college education. I did not know that, right? So I did not know that most people did not even complete their degree program definitely you don't want to be in default for something that you didn't complete, and you want the ability to go back and complete the program. So borrowers who go through the Fresh Start will also be able to access other types of government-backed loans and mortgages. No collections on Fresh Start until Fresh Start expires in 2024. That means all collection activities through the Treasury Offset Program. So you all know that. So anytime you owe the government, they will offset any monies that you're owed. Like if you file your tax returns and you're due money from your tax returns, they will take what you owe them to pay it off, okay, before they give you any money, okay? So many of you all may have seen that before. So the collection activities through the Treasury Offset Program on federal student loans and default are suspended until the Fresh Start Initiative has ended. These include wage garnishment, seized tax refunds, and child tax credits. See, all of these things, benefits that you lose out on when you're in default. Child tax credits, withheld Social Security payments, including disability benefits and collection calls. Borrowers who do not take advantage of Fresh Start can expect collection activities and credit reporting to resume when Fresh Start Initiative is over. Okay. The second shot at who are borrowers who rehabilitated and defaulted. So if you rehabilitated and you defaulted after that rehabilitation, again, this is your second chance to do so. Now, if you've never had your defaulted loan rehabilitated, and say down the road you default again, then you still have an ability to go through the rehabilitation process. Okay, so I helped several people with this many years ago to be able to get into these programs again, which a lot of times servicers were not telling you about programs that you can benefit from, and rather than staying in default, you can get your loans rehabilitated. But again, you then have to take action so that your loan don't go back in the default. Okay. The Fresh Start provides another path out of default if you've used these methods in the past and re-entered default. And as part of the initiatives, any borrower who rehabilitates their loan during the repayment pause will also have the option to rehabilitate again should they default once more in the future. So, so I already talked about the fact that it's going to be reflecting on your credit report. It's going to remove the the negative status or flag on your report. Is going to remove the flag or default from the credit alert and interactive voice response system. This is the federal database of delinquent federal debtors. They will remove any loan that has been delinquent for more than 7 years from the borrower's credit report. And then use loan's origination date of delinquency. If a borrower defaults again after the Fresh Start, that means that a new default won't restart the 7-year timeline for appearing on a borrower's credit report. So that's huge. That's very significant. So you have the ability to access your credit report. You can access from all 3 bureaus one time free every year. So I highly recommend that if you have not, do that. You definitely want to know what's on your credit report, because not everything, you can't assume everything is correct. There may be errors or discrepancies. You want to fix those things. And as you're going through the Fresh Start program, you want to make sure that you are looking at your credit report and you're seeing those negative marks removed, because it's going to have a big impact on not just your report. You should see a jump in your credit score once these activities start taking place. Okay. So again, this is the Fresh Start program. This is for the 7.5 million student loan borrowers that are currently in default. The moratorium for the pause for student loan payments has ended. Interest is already starting to accrue. Statements are already going out for the anticipated payments that are due starting October the 1st. This is September the 19th. That's days away. So you want to make sure that you take swift action. It is in your ability to do so and to reap the benefits that are currently here, that are only here for a certain amount of time. As I always say, opportunities have expiration dates. And so if you see this, it's important to take action. And if you see this and you know someone, a friend, a partner, a co-worker, a family member that is in default, share this information with them and they will thank you. They will be so appreciative that you gave them this information because this has never happened in my lifetime. You know, COVID brought a lot of benefits to us, opportunities that have never happened because there's never been a pandemic like this in my lifetime. So this allowed them to take a look and see what can they do to help student-owned borrowers. So they're looking at different angles. How to make education more affordable is one thing. And then how to overhaul the failed systems that have been in place for years and years and years for student-loan borrowers that have failed them time and time and time again. So this allowed them to go and make a complete overhaul of the system so that we as student loan borrowers benefit. So this is for you all. Fresh Start Program, student loan borrowers that are in default. This is your opportunity to get out of default. Once you get out of default, then what you want to do is go into a income-driven plan. My recommendation is the SAVE plan, but you can review them, look at them, do the calculators. Once you start the application process, you can simply ask, what would my payment look like if I'm on the SAVE program? You know, based on your tax returns or financial statements that you provided to them. Now, if your income has changed since you filed your 2022 taxes, then you want to provide that information. You always have the ability to do it. You just need to do it. So I know people haven't done it in the past, but you have the ability to do it. Don't go into default simply because you failed to take action to say, hey, I lost my job or they reduced my hours. Anytime that happens, you can reach out to your servicer and apply for a change due to a change in your income. Okay. So you're not still paying based on a higher income that you no longer have. And being in the income driven program, it doesn't matter how much you're paying, as long if you're set to zero is zero, and that is not going to negatively affect you getting forgiveness at all, right? Or you may owe zero, you may owe $1, but if you're able to pay something that's manageable, stay on the program. Do not go into forbearance if you can avoid going into forbearance or deferment. That's what student loan servicers were doing. They were putting you in forbearance and deferment and not even telling you about the income-driven plans. And then the income-driven plans were there, but they weren't working because they weren't actually tracking your payments and the time that you've been paying, the years. So that's why the overhaul just resulted in 809,000 student-owned borrowers getting $39 billion wiped out, like, because they had already paid. It's not a matter of people not paying. They had already paid. The system failed them. It's been corrected. And because it was corrected, their student loans were wiped out. That is what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you can benefit from all of the changes with the student loan borrower programs that are out there, and more updates are happening on a daily basis. There's more activities to give mass forgiveness. So as these continue to be rolled out, I will continue to share with you. But again, it's your responsibility to take a look at your loan, know where you are, know who your servicer is, contact your servicer, make sure all of your information is updated, get in the right programs that are appropriate for you as a student loan borrower, and take advantage of the benefits that have been made available to you. Now, if you have any questions, please let me know. I see you all out there. Thank you so much. Again, please share this out. Show us some love, give it a thumbs up, hit that like button, or better yet, that love button, so more people see this video. Because again, you're talking about 7.5 million. And guess what? Many of those millions don't even know what to do. They're not taking any kind of action because they don't even know about it. Nobody's told them about it. That's why it's so important that we share knowledge so people can reap the benefits of these programs and that they know how to navigate these programs. So if you do need assistance, you can click the link in the description to my student loan forgiveness workshop, where I go through all of the programs step by step, tell you exactly what to do for every different program, no matter where you are as a student loan borrower. Thank you so much. Continue to ask your questions. I will circle back and answer any that I see. If you catch the replay, comment #replay, and I will see it and I will know to respond. As always, continue to be the boss and amplify impact. Have a wonderful day.